Glenn Stasky with Clearwater Lights. Wish I could be there tonight, tell you a little bit about our system. But David Vodden asked me to send you a little video to give you background on our Clearwater light system that we've installed at Thunderhill. First of all, I'd like to thank David and the staff at Thunderhill, and of course the RDC for financially making this project possible. Clearwater has donated a substantial amount of the equipment and our labor so this system could be installed at my home track, Thunderhill. I'm hoping to make everyone safer at that track. The system's a little history of it. It's been used for the past 4 years for the AMA Pro Road Race Series around the country and the AMA Pro Flat Track system around the country. Together, in the past 4 years, it's been used in over 300 professional racing events without a single malfunction. Malfunction is a curious word to be used when it comes to safety because malfunctions cannot exist. The main part of the system that separates it from nearly anything else available in the world is this military-grade encryption. We went through great pains to make sure that this system is secure, locked, and not hackable by any other means. The idea is that when this button is pressed and an alert signal is to be given, it must function 100% of the time and not be able to be turned on in any other form by anybody else. To give you an example, our system has been used in many, many pro events, and other competitive systems have been used prior to our system. And they work fine on Thursday test day and even Friday qualifying. But during the race on Saturday, when all the teams come in with their special radios and antennas and transponders, all communication systems break down. Signal-to-noise ratios dissipate. And there's all kinds of spurious signals that can affect safety system. Just this past year at Miller's Motorsports Park at this World Superbike race, the local system was being tested and it looked like to be a pretty good system. I asked about his encryption and he looked at me like, what are you talking about? Saturday morning, the Italians came in with their 100-watt transponders, broadcasting in a very illegal US FCC bandwidth, and totally washed out the entire system. The safety light system they deployed did not work. Luckily, we had our system there as a demonstration, and we were able to hit the buttons and turn the system on instantly. It worked flawlessly. It worked throughout the broadcasting system of the Italian and Swiss and French transmission systems. European transmission systems are totally different. Once again, another test was done in, I think it was a Supercross race at Oakland Stadium, and another local competing system was being tested and was being used. And it worked fine in outdoor arenas. But at the Coliseum, there happened to be one little difference. On race day, there were 50,000 people with cell phones. And cell phones, the transmissions, although they weren't even close to the broadcast range, enough of that data was enough to scramble the system and turn the lights on errantly. They had to scrap the system and go back to traditional flags for the race. The system is designed, and it's been designed at Thunderhill to be a standalone fixed system with zero maintenance. It's solar powered with a robust backup battery system that could last in excess of 8 to 10 days of almost continual use without full sun. We built it so that basically I don't have to drive up there on Saturday mornings to do any test work or repair work on it. But a lot of thought and engineering has gone into this system. It should have a life expectancy of 10 years or so, maybe 15. And as I mentioned earlier, this system is it's a wireless system, works in a 900 megahertz encrypted locked signal bandwidth, and it also uses 3 billion, that's B with a B, different frequency signals that it changes daily. It's a random scrambling system, so all the radios transmit and receive on a different band of that 900 megahertz width, so that each day it's different, and even hourly it changes. And the code is set by the transmission code system. Each radio has a serial number. It's a hexadecimal serial number that we can assign. I can update the software from anywhere in the world via a USB port. The system that Thunderhill has is a standalone, multi-channel, individual track lighting system. Each corner has both a red and a yellow. I only have a yellow here today. It has a red, and red signal would be a unique command given by race control. Red light cannot be given by an individual course worker. He can, as in most racing protocol, they'll use a radio to call for it, and the race commander will either approve or deny that request based on what he sees from the rest of the track. The corner workers will also get their own little manual switch that will be able to go from a solid yellow to a flashing yellow at each individual corner station. They are not all set up at this point right now just because of time constraints. But the schedule was to have a system demonstratable by the dual regional, which was in July. We made that date. And I also promised David and Jerry that it would be operational, 100% operational for the 25 hours of Thunderhill, of which it will be. I've done numerous tests on the system. We've been up there 7 times. We've tested radio transmissions. We've tested battery charging systems. Each of the radios has a self-analysis mode where they actually will monitor the battery, monitor the signal voltage, signal strength, and report back to the main controls tower every morning if there's a problem. For instance, if an antenna were to be hit or a solar panel would be hit by I don't know, hail, let's say, and the panel would go down in output, it would report back to tell us that, hey, we're back on battery power, the charging system's not working, and please come out and service me. The system is autonomous in that it can operate either with the main control system, which is a touchscreen laptop or touchscreen desktop computer up in the control tower, which is a touchscreen where we could actually push turn 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 for a solid or a flashing yellow. And again, if there were a course-wide problem, OSB box, which there'll be one of those available for the track, it has both a solid red and a flashing yellow command. And in the instance of, let's say, course worker or somebody, course marshal, to have this unit, were to determine that there was a track condition where it warranted a full course yellow, and then it ratcheted itself up to a full course red, he could actually hit the red button, it would override the yellow, turn it off, and lock in the red automatically. I wish I was there so I could answer any questions, but we could possibly do a phone call arrangement. Maybe Friday night I could be available to take some phone calls. We also do police lights for police motorcycles, and I'll be doing an installation in Southern California on Friday afternoon. Won't be able to make it. But this is our system. I hope you'll like it. It's going to be in operation for Thunderhill. We used it 2 years ago for Thunderhill, and we used it in a full battery mode system. Actually, this is one of the units that was used at the Thunderhill, the 25 hours Thunderhill. This is one of 4 units that I keep and rent and loan out to racetracks. There are approximately 50 of these around the country traveling with the AMA Pro teams. They've been used at virtually all the big name tracks around the country. We're currently in negotiation with Road America, Mid-Ohio, New Orleans, Louisiana Raceway, The Ridge, Infineon, and possibly Barber. So those are the racetracks that have seen it now for 3 years with the AMA Tour, and they've seen the significance of its safety, the amount of safety it brings to the track. There's a video that's being produced by AMA Pro Road Racing, which is owned by NASCAR, by the way, where they've stood by. They partnered with me on this system. They actually asked me about it about 4 years ago, and there was a coincidental meeting with one of the officials at AMA, and we decided to build this system from scratch. Delphi, which is a big electronics company, part of General Motors, quoted AMA $300,000 just to start to write the software. It did not include any of the hardware or any of the installation. The price I quoted David was basically just a number picked out of the air that I thought would cover part of our costs. It's going to be a very good system for us to have as a demonstration. It's a good proving point for the system in a hard-wired system for road race. Currently, there are maybe 7 other tracks that are interested in seeing the system, so I could imagine that either the Willows or the Sacramento Airport might be busy in the next couple of months. So the racers that have stood behind this system are world-famous national champions. Chris Carr, a famous dirt track racer, said at the end of the 2nd year of using these, he said to the official, he said, Al, if these aren't here next year, I'm not racing. We were at Calistoga 2 years ago, and there was a bad crash in turn 2. Of course, during flat track, we only use red cases. It's either all on or all off for them. And Chris came around the corner. He said, I wasn't looking around the corner. I'm looking past the corner at the apex. I saw the light go on. I rolled off the throttle, threw my hand up, and there was a bike broken in half right in front of me. He said, I never saw the bike. It would have probably killed the guy. So Numerous instances have been mentioned about how this has really saved things. One somewhat disturbing comment that was made to me was by a pro road racer, well, we'll go unnamed. He says, Glenn, he said, I don't know if you know this, but we're told by our team managers, and these are big teams, to ignore the first red flag. I said, what? He says, yeah. He said, it could be a red shirt. It could be someone raising a flag. It could be a Coke flag or something. He says, break on the second red flag. And I said, that sounds kind of crazy. He says, well, we're professionals. We're motorcyclists. If there's a bike down, we can get around it. But the cost of stopping incorrectly for a red flag could lose a whole major sponsorship. But he said, but Glenn, the upside of it is, he said, with your system now, he says, we go until we see the red light. When the red light comes on, we're off the throttle. We're on the brakes right away because we know there are no false reds with your system. And that part of the system really, comment really made it worthwhile to me. And I've heard this countless times by some of the top racers. Josh Hayes was his third time AMA road race champion. He's been instrumental in helping deploy these lights throughout the tracks. The line of sight for a car racer is quite a bit different than that of a motorcyclist. And the other important thing to remember, we all know this on a motorcycle, a helmet turns through a turn. In a car, a helmet shouldn't necessarily turn that much. But we have a better peripheral vision in a car, and we can scan. We should be able to scan to see if a course worker is fumbling or looking or grabbing, or if you see him starting to pull a flag out, you can get a jump on that and get on the brakes to avert a potential problem. Whereas with the lights, you don't have to be looking for the corner worker all the time. You're looking at the corner worker's location, because that's where these are mounted, but these are designed to catch your attention. And the flash rate has even been engineered to be able to catch a flash between two blinks of an eye. We've tested racers, we've watched blood pressure monitors and eye flash documentation. We've been able to build our flash rate to be able to flash it between blinks. So if they can't really say, I didn't see it because I blinked my eye. The flashes are of a long enough decay and rise time, we can control that. It's all digital, so we can control the on time, the off time, the peak, the slow down time, everything of the LED can be controlled digitally. We have an FIA certified flash rate, we have an FIM certified flash rate, and we also have an AMA flash rate that the guys seem to think works best. So that's pretty much it. I could go into greater detail. I don't have that much time, but the whole system consists of basically these encrypted radio systems that are proprietary, built by me in Sacramento, in our factory in Sacramento. We've shipped these all over the world. They're potted, they're sealed in epoxy, they're military grade. My software engineer did a lot of software engineering for NASA. All the equipment is built to NASA specifications. We have, to put it mildly, on the far side of $50,000 in engineering software time alone into the system. The hardware, the engineering, the CNC, the brackets, the fixturing, I can't even begin to say. But AMA has been good to help us out with it. We get a lease from them each year, and I hope to sell systems to many racetracks. Thank you again for your support. Thanks to the RDC. Thanks, David. I wish you all good night. Thank you.